Morning. Is that about right? I feel like this screen has made it so much smaller. It's a new system for their go live stuff. It seems very like I'm in a little tiny TV. But maybe it's the same. I've got my screen further back than normal. I don't know if it really helps. Let's that one up a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Okay, how's everyone doing? Easter Monday. Has everyone had a nice weekend so far? Tell me some stuff. So today we are doing something influenced by Liam, my cousin. So thank you, Liam. He sent me a little link about proprioception. Just thought that I would like the concept, the name, and stuff like that. And I thought actually that's a really nice proprioception. 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 Whew. Well, I was just being tested there. So it relates to the ability to kind of sense stimulus and kind of so it is about our position, our motion, kind of our equilibrium. So it's really closely related to balance. And for it, we use a lot of our kind of balance from our ears. Our eyes obviously help, and then you have a proprioceptive kind of system, and it's all monitoring information that comes back. So it's so clever. It's kind of, it can tell the length of your muscles and the kind of load placed on your tendons. So from that information feeding back, it can figure out where your leg is. So it's all just kind of how it kind of manifests in daily life. It's just like if you bump into a door, if you weren't very aware of your frame or where you were. And in yoga, obviously, kind of sometimes we want our arms to be straight. I mean, you'll see when I'm doing my warrior two, I would swear my arms are straight, but then normally a little bit like this. And we're going to do someday just to kind of test where we think our limbs are and if they're actually in that place. And then others, just ways of working that. So it works with our balance. Also, it really helps because sometimes you'll find some days you can do tree for hours and sometimes you're wobbling in and out. Sometimes that our mind is so busy elsewhere, we're not really paying attention to all this information that's being fed back to us. So sometimes we need to try and calm that mind down so we can pay attention to these sensory feedbacks that are telling us where our limbs are. So today, if you have in kind of grabbing distance and eye mask, these are optional. Eye mask, you can just close your eyes. We're going to do some bits where we close our eyes. Eye mask is just more theatrical. And if you have a mirror that you can use, I don't know how, if you're using this on a laptop or how well you see yourself when you're watching a Facebook Live. I don't know if you see yourself at all. But if you've got a mirror or something, so you can just see where your limbs are, so you can get an idea of that. So I'll just wait a minute or two just in case anyone needs to grab anything. In the meantime, please say hello if you're there. Yesterday was so lovely to hear from you all, so I'm very grateful when you comment. Hey Mum! Hello Eddie, how are you? Yeah, Mum, this is a great one because you've got a whole heap of mirrors there. Yeah, so I'll just wait a moment. We're going to begin with a breathing technique, so you can lie down or you can be seated. So prepare yourself either way. We're going to do some diaphragmatic. We're going to breathe with our diaphragm. That's what we're going to focus on. So it's nice if you're seated because you've really got the space, but if you feel that you just need to lie down, then just lie down. Shuffle back again. So just coming to rest on your mat, however you wish to begin with. Just allowing yourself to ground down. So today's all about kind of our awareness, our placement, and obviously, as always in yoga, it extends just to kind of our awareness of ourselves and where we fit, where we are. So just a few deep breaths, kind of not changing anything to begin with if you can. And become aware of where you're breathing into. So maybe it's the collarbone area, maybe your chest. Are you aware of any muscles really working with that breath? If you had to say how deeply you're breathing in and how much you're breathing out as a percentage, how much do you think you're breathing? Full capacity is 100 and not breathing is 0. Whereabouts are you? And then maybe slowly try to increase that percentage. And to let any thoughts drift away. Remember, today we're really trying to focus our attention on our placement, our positioning in space, and also our balance, which can take a lot of our mind power. Now, as you relax, I'd like you to increase your breath. So think about your diaphragm, this muscle that's like a dome at the bottom of your ribs. And as you inhale, it expands down, pushing it into your stomach capacity to increase your lung space. And as you exhale, you allow it to dome back up. And we need to really try to extend that breath every time. Keep breathing. If your mind wanders, just come back. So just keep focusing on that breath, on your diaphragm. And just now we're focusing our awareness inwards of the placement inside our body, but also using this time to just slow your mind down. We're going to need that today. And if you like to make intentions, maybe making one now. Remember, if you make an intention, it's a small promise to yourself. And just in life, we should learn to honour our promises. Good. When you're ready, if you're lying down, stretching yourself out. Take a big inhale, exhale through the mouth. If you're seated, reaching the arms up. Good. Big exhale through the mouth. Good. Okay, so we're going to begin on all fours. So if you're lying down, if you feel quite awake, you can rock yourself up to seated and then come into all fours. Otherwise, rolling onto your side, pushing yourself up and come to all fours. That's an eye mask, not a pair of knickers. Okay, so on all fours. So just to begin with, placing your hands under your shoulders. So if you have a mirror nearby, this is, again, is a good one, because often we feel that, even now, let me move sideways slightly more. Often when I feel that my knees are under my hips, you can see my hips are just slightly pushing back. So I often need to come slightly further forwards. Hands under your shoulders. Maybe if there's someone with you, you could ask them. Or another time you can video yourself. It's a really good way just to get an idea of where you are. And then going through your cat-cow. So really inhaling. So this is tilting your pelvis forwards. The top of your hips comes forwards. Exhale. Top of the hips goes back. Bottom of the hips comes forwards. Moving between the two. Then add your attention, focusing on your stomach. So as you exhale, belly button up into the spine. Exhale. Really actively release your belly to the floor. Inhale. Keep going through those.
There you go.
All right. What did you
Okay.
So keep going through your cat-cow and just being aware of your placement. What's this one? So lifting up between your shoulder blades as you inhale. And as you exhale, you don't sink beneath, you just push even harder. Dropping the head down, extending the neck. Inhale, you stay lifted through the shoulders, but your chest is coming forwards. Exhale. So in this one, we're trying to move our spine as much as possible. We're now going to go into our bird dog or Superman. So let's just clip that up. And this time, we're trying to keep our back still. And what we're focusing on is the placement of our legs and our arms. So for this, you're extending your right leg back, but keeping the toes on the floor to begin with. Just realign. Your hip might want to lift. You're trying to keep your hips down. You're going to extend your left arm and then lift your right leg off the floor. So what we want is a straight line here. Often our body wants to lift up. We're trying to keep a straight line. So I want you to try and pay attention to that. And if you can see yourself, just adjust and pay attention to how that feels. And you're extending in both directions. It's in, and you're trying to keep your core engaged. So we're not allowing that lower back to arch. Once you've done that, releasing back down. I'm trying to choose my battles. I think we'll just allow that one. So, other side. So your left leg's going to extend. Trying to, when you're doing that, just trying to lock everything in place. So your core's engaged, your hips are down. Just got a leg core in the strap of it. And then from there, you're lifting your right arm up and then lifting the left leg. So again, trying to create a straight line, being aware of your body. And gently release down. So we're going to do the same but with crunches now. So to the right side, set yourself up in the same way, and then you're bringing your knee and elbow together beneath you. Trying to keep the back still, and as you push out, try to keep that straight line. Try to avoid lifting the hand and foot higher than your hips and your shoulders. We're going to do that up to 5 times, either pointing with the toes or pointing with the heel. But either way, just engage in that foot. We try to inhale as we lengthen, exhale as we contract in, keeping the core steady. When you're done, releasing down. If you wish, you can just do a cat-cow just to realign, center yourself. And then go to the other side. So 5 on the other side, left leg, right arm. Take your time. Gaze yourself. And see if you can tell. Try to get yourself where you think you're in line, and then if you've got something to check yourself on, maybe video with your phone or an iPad or a mirror, and then seeing if your senses were right. So doing 5 on this side. When you're done, releasing yourself back down, hands down, and then just sit back and lengthen your spine. Good, just taking a few deep breaths again. Bringing your attention to that diaphragm. Try to really inhale, push the diaphragm down, and then as you exhale, allow it to arch back up into your lung cavity or your chest cavity. When you're ready, inhale, you back up onto your hands, tuck the toes under, and gently walking your feet to your hands. Rest into your forward fold. And then slowly roll yourself up. All the way up. Big inhale. And exhale to release. What one now? No, not that one. I mean, I'm just leaving a bunch of goodies on the table for her to get. No. Okay, so your next thing we're going to do is stand in. And what I'd like you to do is grab your pink flamingos. I want you to walk around the edge of your mat if you have space. So what we're going to do, so begin with eyes open, then we're going to do it eyes closed. So I want you half on the mat, half off, and you're going heel to toe. Now I want you to walk around. So just balancing. You're trying to keep your hips level, taking it slowly. There's no hurry, so still half on, half off. Avoiding plants if you have a little, at the corners, so nice and calm. Maybe having your arms by your side if you can. Maybe looking forwards if you find it easy. So not looking at your feet, just feeling your way around. when you get back to the start. Just pause in there. So if you have an eye mask, then put it on. So we're going to do the same thing blindfolded. So this is just showing how often we use our kind of balance. It really relies a lot on our visual as well. There was one for you. You can just close your eyes. This is just a very visual effect, and like I said, I like the theatre of it. So depending on what you're doing, you're just going to do the same again, but without your sight. So you're just walking around, and I want you to really pay attention, see how you feel. So you can just have your eyes closed, and suddenly be aware of how wobbly that seems. So it's this kind of skill we're trying to hone, so we're not so reliant on our eyesight. Let's try and negotiate whilst that plan. So walking around your yoga mat, trying to balance on the edge, trying to keep your body engaged, core engaged, arms wherever they need to be. Oh, that doesn't sound good, whatever she's doing there. Walking around the corners, and then eventually try to come back to your starting point.
That's weird. Okay.
Okay, so hopefully that's just a nice little taster of actually how much we rely on our vision. And so we just need to try and work on those other, really being very receptive to these other senses. So we're going to go through some salutations, but we're just going to add some bits in. So before we begin, again, just standing down, and we're going to balance on one foot. But you don't need to lift this up high. If you've got a yoga block, you can even stand one leg on it and lift the other leg so you're not too out of line. So I want you to just lift that right foot up. If you want to, you can lift it up higher. But I want you to keep your hips in line. So this is a great one for just really working our balance, trying to hold our focus, making all those muscles in our feet support ourselves, and trying to not overcompensate. So we're not swinging into that hip or having hips way out to the side, trying to keep the hips level, releasing down. Just going to the other side. So there's nothing glamorous in this. Okay. Okay, leave. Okay. Stay in your balance. Oh, she just wants whatever she can't have today. So when you've done that, release that one down. She knows this trick. Okay, so now we're going to come to bring that a bit higher. So stand towards the front of your mat. So grounding through your left foot. Remember the 4 points of that foot you're trying to ground down through. And then you're going to lift up gently with the right foot. So again, you can just have this off the floor, or you can lift up higher. Ready to hold. Again, try to keep your hips in line, your core is engaged. We're not overly kicking the pelvis forward so the lower back's working. Trying to get those glutes supporting us. Release down. We're going to come again. I'm going to lift that leg up. So still the right leg. And this time, slowly, I'd like you to step back into a high lunge. So your arms can come up. They can stay by your side. And it's really just trying to be aware of where your foot is. And we're just going to come back forwards. Bring the foot in front of us if we can. So coming back, lifting the knee up, and release down. Good, let's go to the other side. So left leg to begin with. Just gently lifting that foot up. So grounding down. So with mine, I'm very aware that I just roll out to the outside of my foot. So I have to actively push that big toe knuckle down, which immediately helps me ground down much more. Trying to keep my hips in line so I'm not swaying out. Trying to make sure my shoulders are above my hips. Your core is engaged. Again, your arms can be wherever they need to be. And release down. Okay, so still on the left leg. Grounded through the right. Left knee is coming up. Hold. Again, just long enough to make sure. I mean, you can hold these up to, well, hold it as long as you feel that you can't hold it anymore, and then hold for another 3 seconds. And then gently stepping back. So by doing it gently, we're having to really be aware of where our body is in relation to the floor, and we can calm down gently into a high lunge. Gently stepping back forwards, so transitioning the weight to the front foot, knee forwards, and release down. Okay, we're going to take that one step further, so you can stay with that, or if you want, with the right foot. So we're going to lift the right foot up, and then instead of coming straight into our lunge, we're going to come into a warrior three. So we're trying to create a straight line here. So ideally, we'd have a straight line that is parallel to the floor. But what I'd rather have is a straight line here than kind of a bent line here. So it's more about the straight line. And this is another one. Often we can feel that we're in a straight line, but sometimes we're kind of a bit funky. So again, if you can see yourself, just keep a hold of that straight line. Coming into your warrior three as far as you wish to go. And then again, gently, gently trying to step the leg down into your warrior. Good, gently step forwards. You can come forwards through warrior three or just stepping the knee forwards. Back up. And then gently placing down. Good, shake out a little bit. Let's do that on the other side. Pucker. Good girl, good girl. Okay, so grounding through your right foot. Lifting up with the left. And again, either stepping back into your lunge or coming through your warrior three. So sometimes it's handy to get that straight line first and then pivot from there if you're not sure. Grounding down, trying to keep your hips facing down. Engaging the core so the lower back isn't working over time. Flex, like so pointing the toes or flexing the ankle. So either stretching away with your toes or your heel, reaching forwards, and then gently stepping the foot down. Coming back out, remembering to breathe. Coming forwards. Inhaling back up. And releasing down. Good, again, shake it out. Okay, so we're just going to put that into a salutation now. So, we're going to, so your options, you can step forward, step straight back into a lunge, or you can bring the knee forward and come through warrior three into your lunge. From the lunge, we're going to come down into a down dog, roll forward into plank, and go through flow. So I will guide you, but just so you know what to expect. So, okay. Grounding through the left. Maybe in a crate. This is the balance of our training with her and our like, oh man, alive. We just want an easy life sometimes. And a healthy plant. Okay, so grounding through your left, lifting up with the right knee. Either warrior three or straight into your lunge. Being aware of yourself, stepping back. So into your high lunge, and then from there, exhaling, hands forwards, stepping back into your down dog. And again, if you've got somewhere to see yourself, look at your down dog, because again, we often think we're in the right position. I kind of hollow into my arms too much, so I need to keep strong shoulders. So it's always good to just have a little check of where you are. Often it's not necessarily where we think we are, so we need to learn to feel where we are. From here, rolling forwards into a plank, lowering yourself down. Inhaling into your up dog. Good. Tuck the toes under, pushing back into your down dog. Now we're going to step forwards, actually with the left leg, so we're going to come back out in reverse. So coming up into your high lunge, and then we're going to come back out the way we went in. So either through warrior three or just stepping with your knee forwards. Knee up. And release it down. Good. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So, grounding yourself down. I'm just trying to get my feet and my head in this thing. Seems impossible at the moment. Okay, so grounding down. So it's going to be your left leg reaching up into your high lunge or through warrior three. Let's get that straight line. Gently placing yourself down. So gently, gently, gently into your high lunge. Hands down. Step back into your down dog. And then when you're ready, rolling forwards into your plank, lowering yourself down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, push back. Good. From here, stepping forwards with the right foot into the high lunge. And then again, stepping the knee forward. So through warrior three or straight forward. And keep the hips level and release down. Good. Okay, so that's our little sequence. So what I'd like us to do now is to do that with eye masks on or eyes closed. So depending on how confident you feel, if you're not so confident, eyes closed because you can quickly open again. But I would encourage you, if you feel you can, then really go for it. And eye mask will keep the eyes closed. You're going to wobble. Hopefully then you've got space so you can hold on to things for support.
Someone to rescue.
Yeah, but really just take your time and try to feel your way through it. Okay. Move that slightly. Okay, so eyes closed or eye mask on. Coming to the front of your mat. So we're just doing the same again. I will talk you through, but if you know what you're doing or you want to just make some little adaptations, then do whatever you need to do. Okay, so grounding through the left leg, we're going to lift the right knee up. Already, that seems so much harder. And then gently, either stepping into high lunge or coming through your warrior three.
Sorry.
And then gently stepping that foot down into high lunge. Allow your hands to come down to the floor. Step back into down dog. Rolling forwards into the plank and then lowering yourself down to the floor. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, push back into down dog. Good. Then from here, stepping forwards with the left foot into high lunge. Okay, and then you're going to come forwards. So either through warrior three or just bringing the knee forwards. So it should be the left leg on the floor, the right leg that's lifting up. Bring the knee in front of you and then releasing down to the floor. Take a few breaths, shake out if you need to. Just check we're still going. Okay, then the other side. So left knee lifting up, grounded through that right foot. Really slow your breath, bring your attention inwards. Into your high lunge or warrior three first. And then when you're ready, gently stepping back, high lunge, hands down, step back into down dog, roll forwards into plank, lower yourself down, inhale up, exhale, pushing back into down dog, step forwards with your right foot, coming up, into your high lunge, then pushing forwards, so right foot's grounded, left leg lifts, either through warrior three or coming straight forwards with the foot. Bringing the knee forward and releasing down. Woo! Well done! Okay, we're just going to do one salutation and then come back down to the mat and do some breathing. So feel free to shake yourself out, use all your senses now or keep your eyes closed, whatever you wish. Okay, inhale, big reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And halfway lift is another really good one if you can check where you are. I know we won't always be able to reach halfway, but after we can kind of round our back, we're not really paying attention. Maybe like me, the hips are too far back, trying to bring them forwards. Releasing down with an exhale. Step back into your, lower yourself down. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Good. Then from here, we're going to calm down to be on our back. So if you wish, taking the weight into your hands, a little hop, crossing the ankles, come down seated, and then lying yourself down. Yeah. So if there's any twists and turns you wish to do, then please do them. I'm going to be seated, but I'd like you to lie down unless that's particularly uncomfortable, and then in which case you can... Ooh. Oh, where have you gone? Oh, there. Then you can sit, you can have your soles of the feet on the floor, soles of the feet together, legs up the wall, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. So paying attention to your breath. If, like me, you're not quite comfortable, try to adjust yourself first, and then once you find your position, stay in there. It might be nice to place a hand on the chest, a hand on the stomach, and as you inhale, feel that people breathe in different ways, so maybe your chest lift first, and then your stomach, maybe your stomach and then your chest, and then feel them fall with your exhale. Again, just paying attention. Where do you breathe first? And where do you exhale from first? Really breathing deeply, pushing into those hands as you inhale, and as you exhale, contracting away. Relaxing into that breath. Thoughts come, they can come, and we let them go. And to keep your attention inside. And aware of our placement in space. So once you have a rhythm with your breath, I'd like you to just bring your awareness of your placement on the mat. And then expand in your awareness to your placement in the room. As we zoom out, being aware of where you are in the building, on your street, in your neighbourhood. So take the view further away. We now see your placement in your town or city, in your county, moving further away still into your country. Your placement in your continent. And finally, moving so far away with your gaze, you can see the whole earth and your placement in it. Keep your breath deep, pushing into your hands. Exhale fully. Gently we begin to going back in, so moving closer with the gaze. Your placement in the continent. Moving closer so we can see the country. We can see you in your county. Moving closer into your town or city. Into your neighbourhood. Your placement on your street. In your house. Back into the room. Onto your mat. And back to your breath. Allowing your attention to rest there. If you made an intention earlier, just reaffirming it in your mind. And then when you're ready, allowing some movement back into your body. Whether you're seated or lying, just gently beginning to move head from side to side, moving the fingers and toes. Maybe big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You may wish to stretch out. You may wish to curl up. If you're lying down, gently, slowly working your way onto your right hand side. Taking your time, being aware of your placement. You've rolled, you've moved. Where are you in relation to your mat? Can you keep your eyes closed as you push yourself to seated? Cross your legs. Maybe keeping your eyes closed as we inhale, reaching your arms up. And this time as you exhale, try to lower your arms so they're in line with your shoulders, so parallel to the floor. Maybe taking a gaze, see if you have a mirror or something, observing where they are and maybe realigning. Sweeping them forward in front of you. Gently joining the palms together. Exhale as you bring them into your chest. Bowing your head. And actually today, taking your hands down to the floor. Just resting them on the floor in front of you. And giving thanks for the earth beneath us. Reaching the arms up. Opening them wide. Thanking the sky above us. Placing one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. Giving thanks for the fire within us. Namaste. Good. I hope there aren't too many smashed vases and knocked over tables and things.
Broken hips.
Yeah. But a really nice one to do, I always relate stuff back to while you're making a cup of tea or brushing your teeth. But again, if you can, just balancing one foot off the floor, the other foot off the floor, maybe counting, see how long you can do, extending slightly further each time. Trying to keep your hips level so you're not swaying out, your core is engaged, you're really trying to hold that posture. It's a very simple one to do, but very effective. So I hope you all have really, really lovely Easter Mondays. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, bye, bye.